Hey, 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 hey. This is the Inspirational Treasure, aka Apostle Treasure, Coach Treasure, Shalonda Treasure Williams Lord, Prophet Shalonda. Whatever treasure you're looking for. We are all here and we're ready to serve you in whatever way that I am makes it possible. So, this right now is a think on these things moment. So, I need you to do what? Listen and think on these things. Go ahead and share, repost, get other people in on the conversation. All positive energy in this space, all love in this space. So let's act accordingly. Many blessings. Oh, I love you just because I can. Don't ever forget that. 7 at a time. Hey, y'all, hold on. So I'm watching The Temptations, one of my all-time favorite miniseries slash movies. And I'm just, of course, taking in things about life. Y'all know me. And I'm looking at David and I'm looking at Otis and I'm looking at all the different perspectives. And I think that we just got to accept the fact that without perspective, life would be pretty boring. Even if we don't fully understand people's reasonings or, how they display love and what they were taught loyalty was and how they were raised to look at people, to look at other individuals. They were programmed to do what they do. We all are programmed. I think that the system of God is awesome, and this is the way I choose to see it. I do believe in pre-incarnation. I do believe in reincarnation. I believe that all of those things fit with the law of love, and because love allows us to choose. You can see it all throughout the scriptures and other books, these different perspectives. But in the scriptures, you can really see where God just gave them freedom to choose. And he was with them even in their choices. The consequence of a choice, or the outcome, I'll just say the outcome of a choice, sometimes turns out favorable for one person and not favorable for another. That's what life is, though. It's taking chances and believing in yourself enough to go after the very thing that people said that you couldn't, but it's the most natural thing to you. God loves us so much that I think that he gave us a choice. And not even, well, let me say it like this. Didn't even really have to give us a choice. God just showed up in the earth as everything. In the cosmos as everything. He's the stars, the moon, he's the sun, he's, the planets, he's the things we can't see yet. God is the oceans, and he is the mountains, and he is the animals, and he is us. And through our eyes, God sees every perspective. It only makes sense. If you believe in a God that is but one God, and a God that is omnipresent, omniscient, if we believe in a God that is all holy, all things that are right, standing, all things that are the the thing that comes to buffet your flesh, to buffer your flesh. The God is all things, the things that come to try you, to show you the strength that you have within you. Every test, every trial is meant to show you what you have inside. How better to push us out of our comfort zones? What better way to get us to really see somebody else's perspective, so that we don't trample all over other people because they don't see the way that we do, and we learn to appreciate the beauty of who God is. What if God is all of us? Well, in my heart, I know the answer to that question. So before we came here, he loved us enough to give us a choice of what we wanted to do in this life, which role we would take on. And then in order to make it interesting, you got to erase that type of memory when you're coming through the birth canal. And then when you get here, you got to live it out. And I believe that he's so gracious that we are reincarnated, because I could not ever let you suffer when I created the system, when I created you. I can't punish you for being who I created you to be. So though the ultimate goal is to love, to get back into divine unity and oneness, to remember that we literally are just one. We're all connected. But in order to get back to that place, you have to go through these obstacles, these circumstances, these things that show you who you are, who other people are, make you relate to them, challenge your strength to stand up in the face of adversity and say, hey, nah, this is who God made me to be. This is who God sees as me, through me. This is how he sees. And my opinion is no less important than yours, and my outlook is no less important than yours, but we may just have to agree to disagree and keep it moving. But to hate another person, judge another person, ridicule another person because they're not you, you need to go back and ask yourself what that heart looking like. What's in your heart that's causing you to be so mean, so nasty, so awful to people just to get what you want? What that heart look like? We can have spiritual liberation, y'all. We can have spiritual freedom where we really live by faith and not by sight. Because here's the thing. The only way we can really live in faith and know true faith is if we have tried something enough to believe in it with our whole heart and nobody else can change it. That's faith. Faith just knows this is it. Faith works for us in a positive way, and faith can work for us in a negative way. If you have so much faith that you're a failure, you'll always be a failure. But we learn faith, righteous, love-filled, oh God, I get it, faith, by living, by being rescued, by being delivered from something, by being helped, assisted with something. We learn how to be humble because of our experiences. We learn how to honor because of our experiences. And when we begin to look through the eyes of each and every individual in this great, amazing creation, not even creation, but it's this great expanse that is God, that is the great I am, we get to see so much beauty if that's what we want to see. But if we choose to see darkness, we choose to see hate, we choose to see I'm better than you, I'm right, you're wrong, then we are already in hell. So, Happy New Year. I love you just because I can. Oh, by the way, this is the Inspirational Treasure, a.k.a. Apostle Treasure, Coach Treasure, Shalonda Treasure Williams Leonard, Prophet Shalonda. Whatever treasure you're looking for, we are all here. And I say yes. I say yes to what God wants for me, what he wants me to do in this earth, how he wants me to show up. I say yes to my authentic self, that sometimes I feel like being in a crowd of people, and sometimes I feel like being in my room most of the time in my own personal space while reaching out to people still from my heart. Sometimes I am not excited about waking up. Sometimes, most times, I don't really have motivation. I guess that's why I have to be inspired. Inspirational Treasure had to come to life, right? Because I'm better inspired than I am get up, plan it, execute it. I feel like being used to be what somebody needs as strength in that moment is a great task to take on. And to some people, it just doesn't make sense. But I'm okay with it because I'm okay with me. Because God's okay with me. God's okay with looking through these big old beady, tired eyes. He loves me. She, it, they, source, whatever. Y'all, we can keep arguing about all these different things that's different. Or we could try to find the commonalities and rock this life out in good fashion. This is what Christ Yahshua was trying to get those in his time and cultures to see. It is my understanding through prophetic insight that he went, Yahshua ben Joseph, he went from place to place and from people to people. That's how he was able to say, I have a flock or people or others that are not of this flock. I rocks with everybody. And that was hard for the religious to see So when he say there'll be a day that they that worship God must do so in spirit and in truth, he was telling us right then that the lines will be erased. And guess what? We are in that time. We are in the second coming. But it's not like we thought we would see it. This is the moment where we recognize that God has poured his spirit upon all flesh. We are divine. And the quantum physicists and the metaphysical teachers and leaders in the old Baptist, Southern Baptist deacon on his knees and go to the hospital. We all have our place. 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 And to somebody, it all makes sense. Every perspective makes sense to a group of people. So gather together, have like interests, but be in unity doing it. And when your like interests will cause harm to another person because they are not who you think they should be, do a heart check and come back to love. Come back to love. I want to share this with those of you, and some of you may be understanding of what seed time and harvest means, or what it means to give offerings or alms or whatever. But I'll say it like this. I found such a reverence of God, of charity, in being a giver. Not just to spiritual and religious figures, but I take a special interest in that because I've watched many suffer because people didn't realize that the same labor that you put in by going to clock in and use your hands is the same, if not even greater, pressure and weight to be carrying things around in the spirit realm all the time. And that's your assignment and that's your job, and people don't take it seriously. When people say, oh, I've got to pray for a prophecy, it's not about paying for a prophecy. And the scriptures, they would not even go to the prophets without taking something with them because they understood that they had a livelihood too. And this was their position. This was their place. This was their gift. So all sowing and reaping, seed time and harvest. And when I say sow a seed, or this is the number I see, if you want to sow this, if it resonates with you, sow this. What you're really doing is saying to me, what you said to me is valid. What you said to me resonates with me, and these instructions, I'm going to use it and it's going to improve my life. When you go to a therapist and they give you steps to take in order to become well or to manage or cope with life better, you honor them by paying their fee. All paying a fee is saying, hey, I appreciate your service. That's how God causes things to circulate in this earth. And we should not leave out our spiritual leaders and teachers. We don't know what they go through just to keep themselves afloat, to still be present for you in the moment where you need to hear God say, this will not be the end for you in the nick of time. This is the gift they use, so honor it. I want you to consider that was for somebody listening, but I also want you to hear this message that God gave me, because I put up a TikTok and I was just, I did a video and I was in the background and I was singing YESSS. Whew. And when I tell you that since a little after midnight up until this point after midnight, I've just been in this space, and the song that just the yes has been ringing in my heart and in my mind and every part of my being. And all I kept hearing God say is, what are you saying yes to? Those of you who are seed sowers, get ready. Get ready. If this resonates with you, get ready to sow this particular seed. He just kept asking me, what are you saying yes to? Because it wouldn't turn off. It was like, somebody pressed play on the radio and it's just playing all day long around the house. But it's like it's been sticking with me all day. It's still ringing in me right now. But throughout the day, God just kept saying, what are you saying yes to? And I thought back over this past few years and the things that have been going on in my life and the shifts and the changes and the elevations and swift elevations and changes. And I'm like, God, people don't want to hear me say that you're elevating me swiftly, because they look at me as someone who's trying to pursue, or be better than someone else. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else, y'all. I'm just trying to live this life and do what it is that I was born to do, and not be made to feel like something is wrong with me when I try to do it the way that God has given it to me. But over this time, these things are just, God has just been speaking to my heart, taking me back to the name of my my ministry and the business before that, Love Walk Outreach Motivations. It was at first, and then Love Walk Outreach Global. And I've always been this love girl. And I remember my brother telling me when I was younger, and I used to write love poems all the time. And life is about more than just love. You need to write about more than just love. And I couldn't escape it. Everything I wanted to name it, love this or love that. And God took me back to that. He said, this is who you've always been. I have literally tried my best not to be me, shrinking back in areas where God says, this is who you are. You are one that just so happens to have 10 talents. Well, why do I have to be made to feel bad about it? You don't. You just have to own it. The person with one talent is amazing. It's absolutely, they can make that thing do what it do. But they feel intimidated because why do I only have one and they have 10? People who have long hair want short hair. People who have short hair, wanted to grow all the way down to the tail, so they add and they add. People who like makeup and people who don't like makeup. We all have a preference, but we also look at other people and want what they want. There's a spirit of envy in some of all of us. I wish I had their peace. Oh, well, I wish I had their money. When he asked me what I was saying yes to, I went back and thought about all of these things, these lessons, these things that he's been giving me. And I came back to the conclusion that what I mean when I say yes is that I'll honor the fact that you made no mistake with me. And that's not out of arrogance. That's out of humility, because God, literally, you were mindful. We were fearfully and wonderfully made. We were reverentially made. God made us with respect. And it was good. Everything he manifested was good. Everything he manifests as is good. In and of itself, and the fault in them is in the eye of the one that is looking on. So much so that they begin to not value themselves because of all the ridicule and all the shaming. Y'all, if we understand this law of love, I promise you things will change. This land will heal. Whew. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. What do you mean when you say yes? What I mean is I will honor you as all things. Oh, great I am. I will use things for what they are meant to be used for, and I will not be ashamed of it. But I will live to the best of my ability by the fruit of the Spirit that define love. And that includes my self-control, my temperance, my discipline. I'll do better because I know the reason why you bring it to my attention is because you love me, oh God. And I thank you for that love. If I was in a service right now, I would say, Can somebody say yes? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, oh yes. Oh, can somebody say yes? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Whew. So the seed, for those of you who are waiting for that, Chikatamansoko. I say yes to being my authentic self. That's what you would put in the memo block. And as you learn, listen, as you grow to be your authentic self, you'll find that which is beneficial for you and not. Some people get to the point where they just continue to do whatever it is they're going to do. This is the reason why I believe in reincarnation. This is what I was trying to tell you. God knows when we're going through these lives that there will be certain things that we just never mature in enough. And so some people die, they commit suicide or they commit murder or they do something very immature because they don't know yet how vitally important they are. That God meant what he did with them just like he meant what he did with me or you. They just can't get it. It's too heavy. They can't process it. And so if they do leave here in the physical, I believe God is so absolutely loving that he allows them to do it again and again. And again, this is the ultimate grace. Because I wouldn't create you just to hate you. I wouldn't create you or exist as you just to mess you over. Oh, yes. Oh, somebody say yes. All right. 2323 is the seed on that. $23.23, $2,323. You can go to the billions if you want to. That ain't gonna hurt us not at all. I'm just gonna put it right back out there. But whatever seed you sow, do so with 2s and 3s. Even if you add a 23 to the end of the number or whatever, however you choose to do it. And if you choose to honor this, and go to the coffee site and make this a love offering that serves as your seed, and you will reap. You will see things begin to change, things come into alignment for you that helps you to grow in your natural and your spiritual self. Things that will come along to help you to be spiritually liberated, but through your soul's healing. Don't leave out that you need to be healed so that you can see through the eyes of I am in maturity. Christ Joshua said, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And what he's speaking of is us coming to the full maturity of love. So you're gonna begin to experience things in life that are gonna help you to come into a better understanding of what it means for God to love each and every one of us without condition. He has no regrets about us. He never did. And Christ died to take away that thing, that sin and death mentality, the sin and death conscious. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'll never be enough for them. I'll never be enough for him. That thing we're fighting all the time. I got a scene from Aquaman that I was watching earlier, and I had my son go back so I could record it, and I'm going to post it at some time. But it showed me what the true adversary does. Psychs you out. Remind you of all the things that make you to be not enough. This ain't about no devil we fighting on the outside with pitchfork. This is about that inner me. Anywho, things will start happening. You will start meeting people, being a part of assignments and things like that will lead you into a place where you begin to examine your heart and really look through the eyes of God at other people. You're going to begin to grow in love in greater measure because you become your most authentic self. You'll realize that you are for somebody and there are people that are for you. And as long as we honor others in this journey, it'll make for a pretty dope world. You don't have to like it, just don't participate. And you don't have to stop praying, but pray with the intentions of them having what God wants for them to be and not what you want for them to be. But 23, that's the seed. That's the seed. I say yes to being my authentic self, showing forth the glory of God's creation, not smacking him in the face by calling anything about us not good. I am his good. You are his good. Yeah. To bear the burdens of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. Y'all, this thing gets so much more real and real for me every day. And Bishop Carlton D. Pearson, and all of the Unitarians and people who have always fought to bring people together, thank you. Christ Joshua, thank you. Gandhi, thank you. Buddha, thank you. And this is not giving anything glory other than God, because when you look at all of these different approaches to life, it's helped somebody get to the place of salvation. It's helped somebody get to a place of deliverance. The Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, any of these places that reach out their palm, their hand to bear the burden of another person. You are doing the work of the gospel. You are doing the work of Christ Joshua. I'm about to go. Whew, gosh, help me, Lord. If we can just understand it. I can still be friends with the people who bullied me. Friends with most of them. Some of them don't even remember they bullied me because they were in their own time of brokenness. And if I can if I can be one of the first partakers, then maybe somebody else's kingdom can be healed. Maybe somebody's hunger can be fed. Somebody's thirst can be watered. Somebody's fields can expand. If I can do it, if I can look at their pain when they are acting unseemly, when I might want to just go ahead and give an elbow or two, and I can just go back and think, you know what, Shalonda, you don't know what the root cause of that is. Don't feed it. Don't feed their brokenness. Don't feed their hurts. Don't feed their traumas. Don't become to them what others were to you. So anyway, y'all, 23, you're going to be your authentic self. You're going to find yourself in greater measure. You're going to begin to tap into the law, because originally our essence, the essence of who we are, is love. And we're all trying to find our way back to that point. So let God do that in you this year. That may mean that you may have to turn your back on those things that don't benefit your life anymore. You may have to say, you know what? I appreciate you for the upbringing. I appreciate you for introducing me to God in this way, but this doesn't resonate with me. I remember when I told my nephew that he would be Muslim before he went and did some time. And when I told him with such ease. Yes, me. Prophet Shalonda. At the time I was just, strong in this thing, loving the spirituality and learning and growing and knowing God more. It's always been a wonderful thing and experience for me. But I've always been a prophet, born a prophet. So when God tells me to tell somebody something, I can't filter that through my Christian eyes. And when I say Christian, I'm talking about the doctrine of it all. But I can filter it through my Christ eyes. What you need to win, what you need to grow, what you need to be the best you can be, what you need, that's what you'll get when you trust God with your life. Go ahead and tell it, right? Tell God right now, hey. In your kingdom, arise in me, oh God. They asked when the kingdom of God would come, and Jesus plainly told them, it's already here, it's in you. The kingdom of God is within. Now you just got to discover it. And so, God, I know where your residence is now. Just arise in me. Live through me. Give through me. Speak through me. Open that business through me. Meet that need through me. Because I know that if I allow you to do it through me, it's always going to circulate back around to me. So I will not get weary in my well-doing, but I will stand. I will stand. So I don't know how many more days this yes is going to be brewing in me, but I welcome it. I welcome the tears that will come with it. I welcome the praise that'll come with it. I welcome the worship that will come out of it. I welcome the dance that's going to come out of that yes. Woo. And I ain't talking about hucking my feet in the church. I'm talking about pop it. Whatever it is that's going to happen, I'm with it. That means God is showing me more of myself every day. And with every part of me that I see, I give him more glory and more praise because he is perfect at what he does. So I love y'all just because I can. And somebody say yes. Yes, yes, yes. I miss my cousin Corey so much. So much. Because I probably would have called him right now just for him to be able to sing it to me. I sang it, but hey, you go ahead and take it. You can have it. Sing it to me. And I can hear him right now. Thank you for the time that you spent with me on this. Thanks God for the opportunity to love on so many people and learn and to have something to carry with me for the rest of my life. All right, y'all. I love y'all so very much just because I can. Oh, if you have not ordered your copy of What If God Is All of Us, it is available on Amazon right now. I still have not changed the price from $1.99 yet, but I think I'll wait till about 100 people see this video and then I'll take the price back up a little bit. Y'all know y'all got to learn to honor people's prices, right? All right. So, talk soon. So, what if God really is just all of us? What if we decided to take that perception? We're all trying to find that philosophy, that doctrine, that religion, that family, that, relationship, that thing that helps bring meaning to life. The career, the thought process, whatever resonates with us. When you feel what you feel and you are who you are and you think what you think, you want people to be able to respect it and understand it at some level so you can live in peace and harmony. Well, guess what? They want that same thing from you. So, what if God is all of us?